stop and take a deep breath right now. God has sent an urgent message about something called the Forbidden Letter, but first wants you to know, don't be afraid. This divine revelation comes not to frighten, but to protect and enlighten. Through heavenly wisdom, God reveals a mysterious truth that few understand correctly. The Forbidden Letter contains spiritual knowledge that has been misunderstood throughout history, causing unnecessary fear and confusion. Sacred insight shows why this message comes to you now. Your spiritual journey has reached a point where this divine understanding can truly benefit you, rather than cause harm. God chooses this moment with perfect wisdom. The spiritual realm opens to show deeper truth about something many fear without cause. Those who have passed beyond this life exist in a state different than most imagine, neither trapped nor lost, but transformed in ways our earthly minds struggle to comprehend. Heaven sends this message with gentle reassurance. Though the subject seems dark, divine light reveals its true meaning. God's message removes fear rather than creating it. Quick, press the like button to activate your spiritual protection. Heaven says this simple action creates a shield of divine understanding around your mind and heart. Don't worry, you're completely safe as you receive this sacred knowledge. Your guardian angels draw closer now, their presence bringing peace and clarity. They ensure this divine revelation brings enlightenment without distress. Their protection surrounds you completely. Type I receive divine understanding if you're ready to learn what God wants to reveal about the Forbidden Letter. The moment you type these words, special wisdom begins flowing into your spirit. Heaven waits to share this sacred knowledge. This is one of the most profound revelations I've ever channeled. God personally oversees this message because its truth has been distorted for too long. But you must approach it with an open heart. Divine understanding often challenges our preconceptions. God says, "My child, do not fear what you are about to learn. I reveal this not to frighten but to free you from unnecessary dread." The truth about those who have passed beyond is more beautiful than fearful imaginations suggest. Divine wisdom reveals the mysterious beginnings of what humans call the Forbidden Letter. Sacred understanding shows how this concept emerged through fragments of spiritual truth, misunderstood and distorted through countless retellings. Throughout history, glimpses of the afterlife appeared in various cultures, each capturing pieces of a larger truth too vast for mortal minds to fully comprehend. These fragments, passed down through generations, gradually formed into the concept now known as the Forbidden Letter. Type I seek true understanding as heaven's light illuminates this history. The spiritual realm shows how ancient peoples encountered partial revelations about the departed, recording their limited understanding in texts and stories. Through celestial insight, patterns emerge across civilizations. From Egyptian hieroglyphs to medieval manuscripts, humans struggled to express profound spiritual realities. Their attempts, though sincere, often created more mystery than clarity. Living wisdom reveals how fear distorted these accounts. What began as sacred knowledge gradually transformed into frightening legends. Divine truth became buried under layers of misunderstanding and imagination. Perfect knowledge flows from God's perspective now. The Forbidden Letter never existed as humans imagine, not as a physical document or single entity. Rather, it represents humanity's collective attempts to understand what lies beyond mortal experience. Sacred timing brings this revelation now for specific reasons. God chooses this moment to share deeper truth about the departed, correcting misconceptions that cause unnecessary fear. Spiritual awakening spreads across humanity during this period. More people seek authentic understanding about existence beyond physical life. Divine wisdom responds to this collective yearning for truth. Type I understand divine timing as heaven reveals why this message comes now. The spiritual realm shows how humanity stands at a crucial threshold of understanding. Through prophetic insight, perfect timing emerges. Old fears about death and the afterlife need correction before humanity can embrace its next spiritual evolution. Divine wisdom arrives precisely when needed most. Living truth displaces centuries of misunderstanding. God sees how concepts like the forbidden letter create barriers between the living and their true understanding of existence. This revelation removes those barriers. Perfect compassion guides this divine timeline. The fear surrounding departed souls has grown too strong, causing unnecessary suffering. Heaven chooses this moment to restore peace and truth. Beyond human calendars, spiritual timing unfolds. Cosmic cycles reach alignment for this revelation. Ancient prophecies foresaw a time when humanity would be ready to release old fears about death. Sacred revelation now illuminates the true state of those who have passed beyond physical life. God shows that the departed exist in a reality more beautiful than human fear allows them to imagine. Divine sight reveals souls transformed, not trapped or wandering. Those who have crossed beyond physical existence experience a liberation that earthly language struggles to capture. Their journey continues in ways our limited perception cannot fully comprehend. Type I receive divine comfort as heaven shares this beautiful truth. The spiritual realm shows that souls exist in a state of expanded awareness, free from many limitations that bind physical existence. Through celestial understanding, misconceptions dissolve. The departed don't remain stuck in locations, objects, or memories as fearful stories suggest. They experience a fluid reality where consciousness expands beyond physical constraints. Living wisdom from God's perspective brings peace. The souls of the departed are neither lost nor confined to any letter or concept. Their existence transcends the symbolic representations humans create to understand what lies beyond. Perfect knowledge illuminates the afterlife journey. Souls transition through various states of spiritual understanding, each more expansive than the last. The forbidden aspects humans fear represent merely thresholds of comprehension. Beyond limited human understanding, divine truth shines. Those who have passed continue a sacred journey, guided by love rather than fear. Their consciousness evolves in harmony with divine purpose. Heavenly wisdom now reveals the deeper symbolism behind what humans call the forbidden letter. God shows how this concept represents not a literal document but a threshold of spiritual understanding. Sacred insight exposes the letter's true significance. It symbolizes the boundary between physical perception and spiritual reality, a boundary that seems forbidden only because human consciousness typically cannot cross it while embodied. Type I understand sacred symbols as divine light illuminates this mystery. The spiritual realm shows how humans created the concept of a forbidden letter to represent knowledge that seemed inaccessible to the living. Through prophetic understanding, deeper meaning emerges. The letter symbolizes communication between realms, not something fearful, but something sacred that requires proper spiritual preparation to comprehend. Living truth transforms this concept completely. What humans imagine as forbidden actually represents sacred knowledge awaiting the right level of spiritual evolution. Divine wisdom reveals this knowledge when consciousness is prepared to receive it. Perfect understanding dispels unnecessary fear. The letter doesn't contain departed souls as fearful interpretations suggest. Rather, it symbolizes the transitional consciousness that bridges physical and non-physical existence. Beyond literal interpretation, spiritual wisdom prevails. God shows that understanding the letter's true meaning brings peace rather than fear, connection rather than separation. Divine wisdom now reveals how to maintain spiritual safety while exploring these deeper truths. God provides specific guidance to protect your consciousness as you contemplate the mysteries beyond physical existence. Sacred understanding begins with maintaining peaceful thoughts. Fear creates barriers between realms, while calm contemplation opens channels of true understanding. Your emotional state directly affects your spiritual perception. Type I receive divine protection as heaven shares these crucial practices. The spiritual realm shows how specific thoughts and intentions create a shield of safety around your consciousness. Through celestial guidance, protective steps emerge. Begin each exploration of spiritual mysteries with a moment of centered prayer or meditation. This creates a foundation of divine connection that prevents misunderstanding. Living wisdom shows the importance of proper timing. Don't contemplate deep spiritual mysteries when tired, emotionally distressed, or in negative environments. Choose moments of clarity and peace for these sacred reflections. Perfect protection comes through divine connection. Maintain regular communication with higher guidance through prayer, meditation, or contemplative practices. This ongoing connection ensures accurate understanding. Beyond basic precautions, spiritual discernment develops. Learn to distinguish between fearful imagination and true spiritual insight. Divine wisdom helps you recognize the difference between helpful revelation and harmful distortion. Heavenly insight now reveals how concepts like the forbidden letter affect spiritual perception. God shows the profound influence these symbolic constructs have on how humans understand existence beyond physical life. Sacred understanding illuminates consciousness patterns. When humans encounter concepts like the forbidden letter, it creates specific thought patterns that either enhance or limit spiritual perception. Type I see with clarity as divine wisdom reveals these subtle effects. The spiritual realm shows how symbolic concepts shape the lens through which you perceive non-physical reality. Through prophetic insight, transformation becomes possible. By understanding how these concepts influence perception, you gain freedom to choose more expansive ways of seeing. Divine wisdom liberates your spiritual vision. Living truth dissolves artificial boundaries. The letter concept creates an imaginary barrier between the living and departed that doesn't truly exist. Heaven's perspective removes these unnecessary divisions. Perfect understanding creates harmonious perception. When viewed through divine wisdom, the symbolic letter transforms from something fearful into a beautiful representation of spiritual evolution. Beyond limited human concepts, reality expands infinitely. God shows that clinging to specific interpretations like the forbidden letter creates unnecessary boundaries. Releasing these constructs allows true spiritual freedom. Divine comfort flows directly from heaven's heart now. God surrounds you with sacred reassurance about the true nature of existence beyond physical life. This heavenly perspective dissolves all unnecessary fear. Sacred love embraces both the living and those who've passed beyond. The separation humans perceive between realms exists primarily in limited understanding, not in spiritual reality. Divine presence bridges all perceived divisions. Type I feel divine peace as heaven's comfort surrounds you completely. The spiritual realm shows how God's love continuously connects all souls, regardless of which state of existence they currently experience. Through celestial understanding, fear dissolves completely. The departed aren't lost or trapped in any concept, letter, or dimension. They remain held in divine love, continuing their sacred journey of spiritual evolution. Living truth reveals ongoing connection. The bonds of love between souls transcend physical death, remaining vibrantly alive in spiritual reality. Divine wisdom shows that true connection never ends. Perfect comfort flows from eternal perspective. What humans perceive as separation between worlds represents merely different frequencies of the same divine reality. Heaven's view encompasses all states of being simultaneously. Beyond mortal imitations, divine unity prevails. God's reassurance comes not just as concept but as lived experience. Feel how the departed remain connected through bonds stronger than physical existence. Heavenly wisdom now illuminates the true nature of what humans call the veil between worlds. God reveals this boundary not as separation but as a difference in perception and consciousness. Sacred insight shows the veil's true purpose. This threshold exists not to divide but to allow souls different experiences necessary for spiritual growth. The apparent separation serves divine purpose. Type I perceive all realms as heaven reveals the veil's true nature. The spiritual realm shows how this boundary remains permeable, allowing communication and connection when approached with proper understanding. Through divine sight, cosmic structure becomes clear. Different dimensions of existence overlap and interpenetrate constantly. The veil that seems to separate them simply represents the limits of human perception. Living understanding transforms your awareness completely. Begin perceiving existence not as separate realms but as one continuous spectrum of consciousness. Divine wisdom reveals how different states blend together harmoniously. Perfect knowledge dissolves artificial boundaries. The veil exists primarily in human perception rather than cosmic reality. Heaven's perspective shows all existence united in one divine continuum. Beyond limited language, cosmic truth emerges. What humans call the forbidden letter represents an attempt to understand the veil between consciousness states. Divine wisdom reveals this boundary as beautiful and purposeful rather than fearful. Divine wisdom now reveals the profound sacred purpose behind what humans have called the forbidden letter. God shows how this concept serves a higher spiritual function than most realize. Celestial understanding illuminates divine intention. This symbolic letter serves as a catalyst for spiritual awakening, challenging humans to transcend fear-based thinking about death and embrace more expansive understanding. Type I recognize divine purpose as heaven reveals this sacred function. The spiritual realm shows how concepts that initially seem frightening often serve as thresholds to greater wisdom. Through prophetic insight, divine planning becomes clear. God has allowed this concept to emerge throughout human history precisely to create opportunities for consciousness expansion. What seems forbidden actually invites spiritual growth. Living wisdom transforms limited perception. The letter concept serves as a spiritual tool that helps souls transition from fear-based understanding to love-based knowing. Divine intelligence designed this symbolic threshold. Perfect understanding reveals cosmic education. This letter concept represents a classroom of spiritual learning that helps souls develop deeper comprehension of existence beyond physical form. Beyond surface interpretation, sacred purpose shines. What humans have perceived as something to fear actually serves as an invitation to spiritual maturity. Divine wisdom uses every concept, even frightening ones, for ultimate good. Heavenly guidance now reveals how to prepare your consciousness for deeper understanding. God provides specific spiritual practices that open your awareness to more expansive perception. Sacred wisdom begins with intention setting. Before seeking greater spiritual understanding, clearly state your purpose: to grow in love, wisdom, and divine connection. This intention creates proper alignment for revelation. Type I prepare my spirit as divine insight shares these crucial practices. The spiritual realm shows how specific preparations create receptivity to higher understanding. Through celestial guidance, daily practices emerge. Regular meditation centered on divine love opens channels of clearer perception. Consistent spiritual communion builds stronger connection with higher wisdom. Living preparation transforms consciousness gradually. Study sacred texts with an open heart, seeking universal truths rather than fearful interpretations. Divine wisdom reveals itself through contemplative reading. Perfect readiness comes through balanced living. Care for your physical well-being alongside spiritual growth. A balanced existence creates stronger foundation for expanded awareness. Beyond basic practices, community connection matters. Share spiritual insights with like-minded seekers. Divine wisdom grows stronger through compassionate sharing and humble learning together. Divine light intensifies now, illuminating the ultimate truth about what humans have called the forbidden letter. God reveals the final, most profound understanding of this spiritual concept. Sacred wisdom shows the letter's deepest reality. It exists not as something external to you, but as an internal threshold of consciousness, a doorway within your own spiritual awareness that leads to expanded understanding. Type I receive final truth as heaven shares this culminating revelation. The spiritual realm shows how this concept represents your soul's own evolution from limited to unlimited perception. Through celestial insight, personal meaning emerges. Your unique spiritual journey intersects with this symbolic letter in ways specific to your soul's growth. Divine wisdom reveals how this concept serves your individual path. Living truth transforms everything you've understood before. The letter represents not separation but connection, a bridge between different states of consciousness that your soul traverses throughout eternal existence. Perfect knowledge completes this divine revelation. God shows that what seemed forbidden actually represents sacred invitation, an eternal calling to expand beyond current understanding into greater spiritual awareness. Beyond all fear and limitation, ultimate truth dawns. This symbolic letter represents the divine alphabet of spiritual evolution, language through which souls communicate across all dimensions of existence. Heavenly power reaches its peak intensity now. God delivers the final, most important message about the true nature of existence that the forbidden letter has always symbolized. Divine understanding flows directly from heaven's heart. This letter concept represents humanity's attempt to understand the continuous nature of consciousness that extends beyond physical death. Type I embrace divine wisdom as the spiritual realm reveals its most sacred knowledge. Heaven shows how fear transforms into love when perception expands beyond physical limitations. Through prophetic completion, cosmic purpose becomes clear. The souls of the departed exist in continuous communion with the divine, their journey unfolding in perfect harmony with eternal purpose. Living light dissolves all remaining fear. What humans have called the forbidden letter actually represents sacred communication between all states of consciousness, a divine language that transcends physical limitations. Perfect understanding creates profound peace. The departed souls experience neither suffering nor confinement but continuous expansion into greater spiritual awareness and divine connection. Beyond human language, cosmic truth resonates directly with your soul. Feel the presence of divine understanding filling every part of your being as this sacred message reaches completion. Ultimate divine wisdom descends in its fullness now. Stand in reverent awareness as God reveals the transcendent truth that transforms all understanding of life, death, and spiritual existence. Sacred energy fills your entire being. Place your hand over your heart as heaven downloads its final, most profound revelation about the nature of consciousness that extends beyond physical form. Type I receive complete understanding for this culminating moment. The spiritual realm releases wisdom beyond anything previously shared, completing your understanding of what the forbidden letter truly symbolizes. Through divine authority, final truth manifests. What began as exploration of a mysterious concept culminates in profound spiritual awakening. Heaven's light transforms fear into sacred knowing. Living wisdom creates permanent transformation. Your consciousness expands beyond old limitations into eternal perspective. Divine understanding becomes your natural state. Receive heaven's ultimate blessing of complete spiritual peace. Divine wisdom surrounds your consciousness completely, angelic forces guide your understanding eternally. God's presence illuminates your path forever. Sacred purpose transforms every concept of limitation. Go forward in perfect understanding, knowing heaven's highest wisdom protects your spiritual journey always. Your consciousness is sealed in divine light. Rest secure in unbreakable divine connection. Move through life with profound peace, your awareness expanded by sacred truth.